Hey, welcome to my messy studio. Actually, maybe that's a good name, a good title for what I'm doing. I just renamed it yesterday, asking the muse or something like that. But maybe my messy studio is a better word. You can see a little bit more of it right now. Maybe I'll angle the camera a bit more. So it's the 25th of March, and again, as always, thinking about our creative path and making some kind of movement forward past creative blocks and that kind of thing. Sorry. Anyway, long story. So again, asking the tarot about that. And also today is the sun is conjunct Saturn. And I feel like Saturn, the planet Saturn, has been a huge teacher in my creativity. And Saturn is all about sovereignty and personal authority, writing your own story, like really living in your own life and being true to you and living from there, not over there, not what other people are saying or not what you're seeing on Instagram or anything like that, but living from your own authority, sovereignty, and rewriting your story from that perspective and owning it. Like Saturn is very, very serious. And then there's an aspect about Saturn that is very much about discipline, like getting the work done every day. And I have a Capricorn ascendant, and so Saturn is my chart ruler, and Saturn has beaten me up so badly in my life, and has taught me, like, Saturn is the great lesson teacher. It's the great karmic revealer. You reap what you sow kind of thing, planet. Very, very intense energy, but so important for the creative path. I don't think with my chart as it is, I don't think I could have been an artist without Saturn. And because my my ascendant, that kind of energy comes to you later in life. Like it's something you learn to become your ascendant. Saturn wasn't around for me, at the beginning, or I couldn't access my Saturn. Actually, I should put it, Saturn's always there. I just couldn't access it. Anyway, enough about that. I don't want these readings to be too long. So I can ramble. Anyway, Saturn today, it's a big day. So let's look at that energy. Let's look at the energies of March 25th in regards to our creative process and see what the first card says. And it's going to be oh my god, there we go. 8 of Pentacles. I love this version of the 8 of Pentacles. That is my sit down and get shit done card. Like, really, like, you need to work now. You need to just, like, stop frittering, stop, oh, this or oh, that. It's just like, whatever your discipline is, sit down and put 2 hours into it today. And 2 hours will probably turn into 4 hours, but do it. You just have to do it. And your ego can kick and scream, and you can get hungry and then make tea and, then text a friend, and then you're distracted by this and that, whatever. But, no, like, sit down, put 2 hours into your work and let 2 hours turn into 4 hours. And something I started doing, I didn't even know it was a thing back when I graduated from art school, is that I would set a timer for like 45 minutes. and I would not, like, I would just go to my studio, set that timer, and work for 45 minutes. And then I could get up and take a break and go to the bathroom or do blah, blah, blah. You know, back then there wasn't email and computers and stuff. It was back in the dark ages. But, you know, there were certainly distractions. And, you know, for me, it was like going and having a cigarette. So there were always distractions. So set that timer. So do it. Now it's called the Pomodoro. But it literally is. And we all have timers now because we all have phones. So you can literally set a timer, do it for, you know, maybe you can only set your timer for 20 minutes, like maybe 40. You know, I had just come out of art school. So it was reasonable to ask 45 minutes of myself, but maybe you can only do 10 minutes. Maybe you can only do 20 minutes or 30 minutes, but set your timer and focus. All right. Excellent card for Saturn conjuncting the Sunday. All right. Let's look at another card around this. Justice. Okay, number 11, justice. And I like the imagery of this card because it really explains something. It is somebody's authentic self. How I'm reading it right now is somebody's authentic self coming out of a shell. There's some kind of truth being revealed. And this is very, very important. And there's energy coming out of her mouth. Her eyes are closed. In justice, she's blindfolded. In this case, her eyes are closed. Justice is about balance. So that's a big component about harmony and balance. Maybe that speaks to some of you. I don't know. Are you having trouble juggling work life, or are things balanced? Is your soul, this is, you know, I see this as the soul kind of breaking out over some kind of mask or shell, like a former self. And so do you have balance with what you do for others and what you do for yourself? It's also the time of the spring equinox. And so justice is a perfect card then, because we're at equal light and equal dark right now. So there's just, there's like an integral balance just in nature right now. And so it's a good thing to focus on. And then also just the word justice. Are you getting, are you receiving justice in your life? Being an artist is a legitimate pursuit. It's not seen as that. It's not seen as legitimate by, you know, most people. It certainly is admired, and you'll get lots of people like, oh, you're an artist. But deep down, what you get more of is, sorry, my thingy just cut out, so I had to start it again. I'll have to stitch these two together. I don't know where it cut out, but there's this sense we have to battle the inner sense of, is this legitimate? Like, am I doing something of value and worthwhile? And then we get reflected back to us from the outside world, and sometimes, you know, the people closest to us, that it's not legitimate, like that somehow we're cheating life, or we're skipping out on duties or something like that. Like, going to the studio is not seen as something important, and you should do this and this and this and this first, and then by the time that's done, you're exhausted and you feel like this. You feel like you have, like, you're juggling all these things, and then there's no time to make art, and there is no justice in that. You have to see art as like possibly the most important thing in the world. And then you will create space for your soul. And that, my friends, is essential. All right, next one. Since, again, like I said, I don't want to make this too long. I don't want to be boring. Okay, next card is... one final card. Oh, Page of Voices. So, Page of Swords. And so again, very similar to this energy and very perfect for, actually all three of them are perfect for the Sun conjunct Saturn day. This is just like learning something new, basically. Like while you're getting down to brass tacks about your work, and while you're discovering that your soul actually does need to be listened to and valued, and you need to pay attention to it and do the work of the artist, you also may be in the process of learning something new, like learning new skills. Maybe sometimes I find like just taking a course is enough to get some person can just like teach me one technique, and that's all I need to sort of get things going again. Or a new teacher, like just buying an art book or going and taking a course. If you live around the area, I offer many on the south shore of Nova Scotia. And so we're, I think like just learning something new, opening your mind, bringing in something new and fresh, a new skill. Maybe it's learning calligraphy, or, learning how to video edit, which I'm going to have to do. So, that is, that's infinite what you could do, but it is, the energy is about learning something new. And now I'm going to, for one more, I'm going to pick an oracle card, because I'm making sure they're right out in front of me so I don't forget. And what do we have today? What's the oracle? The Sacred Creators Oracle, because that's what we are sacred creators. Okay, it's the creator of air. And so that is the element of air that aligns very much with the Page of Swords. And again, it's about learning and like opening the mind and thinking new thoughts, seeing new things, maybe creating with your mind first, like thinking, like just being engaged mentally with what you're doing and working with the element of air. Maybe again, like yesterday, using your voice. That's come up, not just yesterday, it's come up a couple of times, like expressing yourself, using your voice. There's lots of air energy. I think that works really perfectly with these three cards. I think it aligns with the Justice card too, because if I'm not mistaken, Justice is ruled by Libra, which is an air sign, a cardinal air sign. So we are looking into still this throat chakra area, expression and voice, and creating from here, like speaking it, maybe just speaking what you want to do, what you want to create, standing up for yourself, or even just journal writing, like journaling it to yourself, what you want. Okay, that's the reading for today. I hope you have a great day today, and happy creating.